Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. Alright, and today, so I've got a bit of a conundrum here. For the most part, I'm basically trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to show both sides of the mage versus Templar decision for Dragon Age Inquisition. So basically, I figured that I could basically have this save right here, do the mage side, and then next time, hopefully tomorrow, assuming I'm feeling all that good, and then tomorrow I will go in and do the Templar side of things. Assuming I can get the war table done in time. So, yeah, that's currently the plan that I have currently going on. But with that said and done, let's go ahead and do In Hushed Whispers. I left my phone elsewhere. Cool, that's gonna be an ancestral blade of leaves. Oh, that's right. Well, and a bit of extra gold. That. Alright. Alright, give me 1 second, everybody. I need to go get my phone. I don't know how in the heck I forgot to do this. But I did. Oops. Okay, there we go. Alright, I'll be right back. There we go. There we go. Okay. Alright. And actually, let's go finish off the fallow mire before we get started on that. I want to be as high a level as possible before I get started on In Hushed Whispers. Let's go. Alright.
Nothing to report, sir.
Uh-huh. head on over here, and then we can get started.
No sign of the Avar who want to challenge me, or the Inquisition soldiers.
I hope the Avar haven't gotten bored with the hostages and that they understand how hostages work.
That's the... What? No, I didn't mean to do that. Everything pretty much equally spaced out, which is annoying. Let's go ahead and see if we can... No, we can't. We'll just deal with this one. Demon. Okay, that's an undead. There's another undead. Lots of corpses and a rage demon.
The gaps in the air. So, you're Herald of Andraste. My kin want you dead, Lowlander, but it's not my job. No fears from me.
The other Avar kidnapped an Inquisition patrol. Are they all right?
A few were injured in the skirmish, but they were alive. Last I saw them. Someone's trained them well. They killed more of us than I thought they would.
I thought the Avar wanted to fight me.
Our chieftain's son wants to fight you. I'm called in when the dead pile up. Rites to the gods, mending for the bleeding, a dagger for the dying. That's what I do. I don't pick up a blade for a whelp's trophy hunt.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Farewell, then.
Watch the water.
Hooray! Level 9.
These people never had a chance.
Yep. Nope, it's full. Full volume. I don't know what's going on. Right now I can't hear anything. Come on. Right. Alright, give me 1 second, everybody. I don't know why I did that, but okay. Stop it. Oh, for the love of... There it goes. Great. Wonderful. And now my sound isn't working. Like at all. One second, let me check something. sound, it's just not from the game. Why am I not getting freaking audio from the game? Alright. Maybe that might help. Nope. I'm still not getting sound. Okay, now I don't get it. One second. Probably need to close out the game and then restart it. Because of course I do. Now I'm getting sound. Hey, Rusty. Just sorting out How about now? How are we doing now? Got it. Okay. That's good to hear. Alright, quest now.
Careful. Disturbing the water draws them out.
I am very much game volume around. I am Oh, that's right. Prostate waitress is better.
I believe I sense one of the artifacts of my people. Should be harder for tears to form here.
Alright. So how are you doing, Rusty?
It's the Herald!
Hey, homes are good. Bloodstone. I'm okay, Rusty. I had a very productive day today.
Let's look around.
Free of corpses back to the shore.
Can't wait to use it.
More undead!
Too many of them! Let's get to the castle!
castle.
Get to the castle!
I am trying.
Get to the castle!
Take his head!
Andraste.
I dealt with the Avar. Is everyone all right?
Yes, your worship. The injured need some rest, but we can return on our own.
Can't believe the Herald came for us. I told you he wouldn't leave us.
Superior Vanguard, mail arms, and mail arms. Well, I know what I'm going to do.
Your god looks after you, Herald. There lies the brat. His father, chief of our holding, would duel me for the loss if he cared.
The Inquisition has a purpose your chief lacks. Join me. Help us stop the breach.
Is this why the Lady of the Skies led me here? To help heal the wounds in her skin? Aye, I'll join you. Let me make peace with my kid and I'll find where you set your flag.
That is yet another agent to the cause. Very helpful. Alright. Ah, yes, that is indeed what I thought it was. Yep. Alright. All I have to do is come back here when I have, what's it called? Deft Hands. Fine Tools, Deft Hands. That particular Inquisition perk. Yeah.
Good day to you.
Offer from the Blades of Sari. Okay.
Tell Master Thren the new blades should be ready as soon as her recruits have learned which end to hold.
Will do.
You need something? Let me know.
Oh, is that what that is? Oh. Interesting. I didn't even notice I didn't have any.
You need something? Let me know.
I didn't even notice I didn't have the mail underneath the chest plate. Magic defense. I'm gonna drop some melee and strength. I think I'll stick with what I've got. Meantime, however, I will take the extra 45 maximum health though. Iron Bowl. Varric, Solus, Vivian, Blackwall. There you go. Give you some actual places to work with. I wonder what. I'm curious. I want to find something out. Oh, okay. That's actually pretty cool looking. I'll have to see if I can find some male arms for her later.
Good.
Out of my current armor set. What's wrong thing? 153. Okay, that's what it was. So, yeah.
Need something? Let.
Let's upgrade some people. At least one person is definitely going to end up needing it. Oh, I like that. That looks cool. Cold resistance, fire resistance, 2% cold resistance. Let's just give you cold resistance. I'm more concerned about making sure that you have what you need, but you have the armor rating that you need. Nice Walker Vanguard. Okay.
Should serve you well.
Inventory, armor. Sandra, go ahead and put this on. And in the meantime, grab this other one. Has these legs on it. Move that in. Cassandra. Back on her. There we go.
Good.
Excellent. Now we need to go into our inventory. Let's see here. I think we can go ahead and send that off. We'll put this on you. Send that off. Send that away. I think we can go ahead and put you in that. Level 10, that's why. Okay. Weapons. We Bianca's not been upgraded yet, has she? Bianca. Oh wait, no, I did. Bianca Owens. Okay, so yeah, she's probably about
Another
as
time,
she's gonna get for a little bit.
Another time, then.
Masterwork Sturdy Bianca Good. Bianca Owens Okay. What's she currently?
Another time, then.
Yeah, she's getting +6, I think. Five damage +6 attack. Okay.
Another time, then.
Flanking damage, bonus, crit chance.
Looks fine. Another time.
There it goes. Sure, I'm going to miss out on that 6% attack and critical damage bonus, but I think this will be better. Snake blade. Solas, what do you got? Oh, you got this thing. Staff blade, superior enchanter staff blade. Looks dumb to me, but okay. An extra 7 constitution? I think I'm gonna look at that. Inventory, weapons, where's Solus? 747. We need 2 levels before I can assign tier to staff. Meantime, however, I believe ornate staff blade. What you getting out of that? 5% attack? Not much in constitution, but you are getting extra cold damage. I think we'll stick with that. Iron Bowl. Give take a gift of the Mountain Father. Cassandra, what do you currently recommend? 84 Blade of Leads? Or 84 one-sided blade? Yeah, we'll just give you, we're just gonna straight up give you this Ancestral Blade. Meantime, however, I believe both this hatchet at Morningstar. Meanwhile, Blackwall. What a... Oh, you've got a serrated Canary blade. With corrupting room. So yeah, you're fine. Bane of Red Crossing, so we can get rid of that. Nah, you're fine. Bow is fine for now. Buster of Kata. 171. So that can go away. I think we can go ahead and craft that. Hang on a second. Should I fire this? Please tell me I did not seriously sell that.
Have you well?
If I did, I'm gonna be so mad.
I don't know.
Oh crap. That's not good. There you are, prismatic great axe. Inventory. Valuables. Prismatic great axe. Unmark that for sale. I am not selling that sucker. I am keeping that sucker. Because that sucker is necessary. Because, you know, all of that. Alright then. I think we're about as geared as we're gonna get. Can't really think of any other ways of anything else I could do to either level up
The castle
or...
really has no issue selling.
Circle, Memories of the Grey, Seeing Red. Aside from maybe doing a couple more riffs. Okay.
Hey, don't worry. We sell to you lot too.
Your people could stop this war if you just stop selling lyrium to everyone.
Sure, that could work. Or everyone could attack us. Maybe they try to mine it themselves and open up a hole full of darkspawn. That sound fun?
I don't know. Seems like there has to be a better way.
Well, let me know if you find it.
Yeah.
There was no word for heaven or for earth, for sea or sky.
I will take these injury reports to research in the name.
Sigrid says it will cost at least 10.
Fine.
Not sure why you would want to pay out of your own pocket for books, Enchanter.
I'm not an enchanter, and too many books get lost. Knowledge gets lost forever. Fire, war, and religion, all of them are bad for books.
Yeah. As annoying as that is, yeah. Ooh, hey, I do have this. Oh, wait, I need a key for that. History knowledge, ability knowledge, underworld knowledge, and finally, arcane knowledge. Alright, let's see what we got here. Did that. Secure a route through the frostbags. Exploit the fellow mire after you cleared the place out. I've stumbled on an old road that leads west to the frostbags. If it's cleaned up, we could use it to shave weeks off a journey through the mountains. I'd rather be wet than freezing. Scout Harding. Let's see here. I cannot fault Scout Harding's logic in that. Come on. Through the frostbacks. Alright, what do we got here? Built of the Winter Pact. Pretty much everybody. However, I am going to go ahead and have Cullen deal with this.
All right.
Coin. Offer from the Blades of Asarian. we're sending Cullen. We're gonna need to send Cullen for that one. We get more stuff out of it. Alright then, in the meantime...
Let's see what we have.
Here, make sure I'm not missing anything. It does not look like it. Alright. I can't believe I haven't opened this up yet. Dealt with. Alright. Now, finally, after an hour and a half of gameplay, we can finally get started on In Hushed Whispers. I am so sorry for the wait. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started on In Hushed Whispers. Redcliffe Castle and the mages who could close the breach are under the control of Magister Girion Alexius, a Venatory cultist with an unhealthy interest in Lavellan and the power to reorder time itself. He has kindly invited Lavellan to the castle, alone, to negotiate. It's an obvious trap, but Liliana and her agents can infiltrate the castle and remove the Venatory threat while Alexius' attention is diverted. A dangerous game, but it's our best chance.
We don't have the manpower to take the castle. Either we find another way in, or give up this nonsense and go and get the Templars.
Redcliffe is in the hands of a Magister. This cannot be allowed to stand.
The letter from Alexius asked for the Herald of Andraste by name. It's an obvious trap.
Isn't that kind of him? What does Alexius say about me?
He's so complimentary that we are certain he wants to kill you.
Not this again.
Redcliffe Castle is one of the most defensible fortresses in Ferelden. It has repelled thousands of assaults. If you go in there, you'll die. And we'll lose the only means we have of closing these rifts. I won't allow it.
And if we don't even try to meet Alexius, we lose the mages and leave a hostile foreign power on our doorstep.
Even if we could assault the keep, it would be for naught. An Orlesian Inquisition's army marching into Ferelden would provoke a war. Our hands are tied.
The Magister
has outplayed us.
Well, not entirely, actually.
The Magister's son, Felix, told me Alexius is in a cult that's obsessed with me. I doubt they'll graciously receive our apologies and go about their business.
There will remain a threat, and a powerful one, unless we act.
We cannot accept defeat now. There must be a solution.
Other than the main gate, there's gotta be another way into the castle. A sewer, a watercourse, something.
There's nothing I know of that would work.
Wait. There is a secret passage into the castle, an escape route for the family. It's too narrow for our troops, but we could send agents through.
Too risky. Those agents will be discovered well before they reach the Magister.
That's why we need a distraction. Perhaps the envoy Alexius wants so badly.
While they're focused on Lavellan, we break the Magister's defenses. It could work, but it's a huge risk.
Fortunately, you'll have help.
This man says he has information about the Magister and his methods, Commander.
Oh, good. Glad you
Your
decided
spies
to
will
try.
never get past Alexius's magic without my help. So if you're going after him, I'm coming along.
The plan puts you in the most danger. We can't in good conscience order you to do this. We can still go after the Templars if you'd rather not play the bait. It's up to you.
Alright, let's... Oh, crap. Hold on a second. I forgot to save Let me save real quick before I do something, before I commit to this. There we go. Okay. Do I have? No, I do not. Okay. Okay.
We are garnering interest from the capital.
You're not pleased?
I am not convinced we are prepared for the full scrutiny of Val Royeaux.
Quite frankly, I do not care about the full scrutiny of Val Royeaux. In hushed whispers, choosing the mages will make it impossible to work with the Templars. Now this is actually something I find immensely hilarious about this game. This game tries to posit, at least initially, that by choosing the mages, you're forever alienating the Templars, thus making it impossible to negotiate with them in the future, which is actually not true. And if you were to choose the Templars, you're completely alienating the mages, theoretically making it impossible to work with them in the future, which is also not true. I'll get into why I think this probably within the next 2 to 3 episodes of this, depending on how well the war table goes. Alright, so we have Dorian, who's a mage. So we're going to bring Cassandra. And now I need a rogue. We'll go ahead and bring Varric. He's fun.
Announce us.
The invitation was for Master Llewellyn only. The rest of you must wait here.
This is a reminder. Take garbage to the cart. This is a reminder. Take garbage to the cart.
Uh-huh. Very sorry about that, everyone.
They have to accompany me. You wouldn't deprive me of my attachés, would you?
One thing I can say about the Venatori is that their outfits are just so cool.
My Lord Magister, the agents of the Inquisition have arrived.
My friend, it's so good to see you again. And your associates, of course. I'm sure we can work out some arrangement that is equitable to all parties.
Are we mages to have no voice in deciding our fate?
Fiona, you would not have turned your followers over to my care if you did not trust me with their lives.
If the Grand Enchanter wants to be part of these talks, then I welcome her as a guest of the Inquisition.
Thank you.
The Inquisition needs mages to close the breach, and I have them. So, what shall you offer in exchange?
Actually, I hoped you could tell me about these Venatori I'm hearing so much about.
Now, where could you have heard that name?
I told him.
Felix, what have you done?
Your son is concerned that you're involved in something terrible.
So speaks the thief. Do you think you can turn my son against me? You walk into my stronghold with your stolen mark, a gift you don't even understand, and think you're in control. You're nothing but a mistake.
Maybe. But,
What do you know about the Divine's death?
It was the Elder One's moment, and you were unworthy even to stand in his presence.
Father, listen to yourself. Do you know what you sound like?
He sounds exactly like the sort of villainous cliché everyone expects us to be.
Dorian, I gave you a chance to be a part of this. You turned me down. The Elder One has power you would not believe. He will raise the Imperium from its own ashes.
That's who you serve? The one who killed the Divine? Is he a mage?
Soon, he will become a god. He will make the world bow to mages once more. We will rule from the Boric Ocean to the frozen seas.
You can't involve my people in this.
Alexius, this is exactly what you and I talked about never wanting to happen. Why would you support this?
Stop it, Father. Give up the Venatori. Let the Southern Mages fight the breach, and let's go home.
No, it's the only way, Felix. He can save you.
Save me?
There is a way. The Elder One promised, if I undo the mistake at the temple.
I'm going to die. You need to accept that.
Seize them, Venatori. The Elder One demands this man's life.
Your men are dead, Alexius.
You are a mistake. You should never have existed.
oh boy, here we go.
Blood of the Elder One. Where'd they come from?
They're upon us!
Displacement. Interesting. It's probably not what Alexius intended. The rift must have moved us to what? The closest confluence of arcane energy?
The last thing I remember, we were in the castle hall.
Let's see. If we're still in the castle, it isn't. Oh, of course, it's not simply where, it's when. Alexius used the amulet as a focus. It moved us through time.
Moved us through time? Can that even be done?
Normally, I would say no. Obviously, Alexius has taken his research to exciting new heights. We've seen his temporal rifts before. This time, we simply passed through one. Let's look around, see where the rift took us. Then we can figure out how to get back. If we can.
What was Alexius trying to do?
I believe his original plan was to remove you from time completely. If that happened, you would never have been at the Temple of Sacred Ashes or mangled his Elder One's plan. I think your surprise in the castle hall made him reckless. He tossed us into the rift before he was ready. I countered it. The magic went wild, and here we are. Make sense?
It just seems so insane.
I don't even want to think about what this will do to the fabric of the world. We didn't travel through time so much as punch a hole through it and toss it into the privy. But don't worry. I'm here. I'll protect you.
Which is hilarious. By the way, I find it immensely... Okay. Look. The idea of completely and utterly just grabbing a person, just a singular person, and just out of time. Completely and utterly just going in and removing that individual from the timeline is hilarious. Because that kind of a thing is horrifying when you think about it, because just imagine how different a world could be when you take away all of the possible decisions that one person, just one, can do.
There were others in the hall. Could they have been drawn through the rift?
I doubt it was large enough to bring the whole room through. Alexius wouldn't risk catching himself or Felix in it. They're probably still where and when we left them. In some sense, anyway.
Alexius mentioned an Elder One in the hall. Do you know who he was talking about?
Leader of the Venatori, I suspect. Some magister aspiring to godhood. It's the same old tune. Let's play with magic we don't understand. It will make us incredibly powerful. Evidently, it doesn't matter if you rip apart the fabric of time in the process.
Clearly. Yeah, this is why I make it a point. Whenever I end up creating these avatars, I make it a point of making them immune to such manipulations. Temporal manipulations, I should be specific. 90% of the time. It's very complex, trust me.
Then let's go.
I'm right behind you.
Alright, let's go ahead and get Dorian built out real quick. First of all, we're going to go down this tree. We're gonna go with fire. Let's go with immolate and flash fire, and then we'll upgrade both of those and call it good. Burns brighter and hotter, intensifying the panic that your enemy suffers. Panic by flashlight fire, leave a trail of damaging flames behind them when they run. Let's go with the extra fear duration. Wildfire burns hotter and has a shorter cooldown time, allowing you to rain fire upon your enemies more often. Immolate no longer has a cooldown, but casting it multiple times in succession costs additional mana. I think we'll go with that one. Doesn't trigger a cooldown. Excellent. Excellent. Here we go. Oh, and we need to Igneous Staff for 37. Okay. Go ahead and move this to valuables, and that to valuables. Go ahead and put that one away. Actually, hold on a second. Where'd that go? What was 60 go? Level 11. How much is what's the level requirement for Tyrda's staff? I forget. 11. So never mind. We're just gonna go with this one as soon as we're level 11. Accessories. Increased focus gained from successful attacks by the specified amount. Extra potions. Each non-healing potion by the specified amount. Belt of Urgency. The wearer of this belt gains a moderate boost to attack speed when below 50% health. We'll go with that. And you can't have this ring because that's a rogue. Okay.
Andraste blessed me, Andraste blessed me. My tears are my sins, my sins, my sins. Andraste guide me, Andraste guide me.
Lysis? Hello? Do you remember me?
Andraste blessed me, Andraste blessed me.
Alexius has made a dreadful mess of this place, hasn't he?
I didn't see this part of the castle.
It was covered in the tackiest carvings of wolves and dogs I'd ever seen. This is not an improvement.
No, it's not. If that is a holy crap amount of freaking... of red lyrium. There you go. Here's another enchanter code. Nothing actually on part of this stuff that we've done. Most part. That's where I came from, so yeah, this is the way forward. Alright then. I can do that.
They sacred knickers. You're alive. Where were you? How did you escape?
We didn't escape. Alexius sent us into the future.
Everything that happens to you is weird.
Oh, you think?
You might be right about that.
I'm always right. And when I'm not, I lie about it. So, what are you doing here? Or did you come back just to trade quips with me?
We get to Alexius, and I just might be able to send us back to our own time. Simple, really.
That may not be as easy as you think. Alexius is just a servant. His Elder One assassinated the Empress and led a demon army in a huge invasion of the South. The Elder One rules everything. What's left of it, anyway. Alexius is really not the one you need to worry about.
Assassinations, invasions, and demon armies? I'm a little glad I missed all that.
Yeah, you lucked out there. You want to take on Alexius? I'm in. Let's go.
The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next. For she who trusts in the Maker, fire is her water. returned to us. Can it be? Has Andraste given us another chance?
Something
Maker,
like that.
forgive me. I failed you. I failed everyone. The end must truly be upon us if the dead return to life.
You look wounded. Maybe we can help.
Nothing you do can help me now. I'll be with the Maker soon.
Alexius sent us forward in time. If we find him, we may be able to return to the present.
Go back in time. Then, can you make it so that none of this ever took place?
If Dorian is right and can actually reverse the spell, then yes.
None of this will happen. Andraste, please let that be true. Alexius locked himself in the throne room. That is where we'll find him.
Excellent. Let's go with that one. That is a lot of red layering.
You're alive. How? I saw you disappear into the rift.
What is the date? I need to know how much time has passed.
Harvest Mir. 942 Dragon.
942? Then we've missed an entire year.
We have to get out of here. Go back in time.
Please, stop this from happening. Alexius serves the Elder One, more powerful than the Maker. No one challenges him and lives.
I promise. I will do everything in my power to set things right.
Our only hope is to find the amulet that Alexius used to send us here. If it still exists, I can use it to reopen the rift at the exact spot we left. Maybe.
Good.
I said, maybe. It might also turn us into paste.
You must try. Your spy master, Leliana. She is here. Find her. Quickly. Before the Elder One learns you're here.
Why is it coming out of the walls?
Are you sure you want to find out?
Andraste, have mercy on their souls.
Well, the gang's all back together. What could go wrong now?
Oh, just wait.
Take a look around. See if there's anything we can use.
Already working on it. Prayer to the new god. Praise his name who has risen from the darkness. Praise his name who has striven for the light. Praise his name who has walked to the golden city. Praise his name. The old gods are no more, the maker never was. The new gods among us. Praise his name. Two-handed haft. Apprentice armor. Not quite as good, so I'll go ahead and move that to valuables. In fact, I think I'll move both of those to valuables. That is a Templar with lyrium growing out of it. Wonderful. Dang, that thing got replaced real quick. Guard's journal. Alexius keeps asking for patrols of the... Yes, thank you. Alexius keeps asking for patrols of the... For patrols of the walls. Waste of time if you ask me. The Inquisition ground themselves into a pulp against the walls ages ago. Ferelden made 3 attempts to lay siege here before the last life got crushed out of them. Who's left out there to threaten us? The mountain barbarians? But he seems to expect a siege. Man's gone completely mad. Better to put the men on watch inside the walls. More of those blasted rifts open every day. It was better when we still had the people for blood sacrifices. Unbound demons have emptied the castle, village, and surrounding countryside of everyone who's not sleeping in their armor. Now it's just wild demons everywhere. Gee, it's almost like doing that kind of a thing is a stupid idea. But of course, that can't ever be true. Dang it, that's a level 2 on the thing. Yikes.
There is no maker. The Elder One has taken all that is his and will soon rule from his city.
May she find peace at the Maker's side.
Bianca Arms 2. Extra 15. Leader of Souls.
Tell me how Lavella knew of the sacrifice at the temple.
Never.
Ah! There's no use to this defiance, little bird. There's no one left for you. Protect.
You're wasting your...
Ah! Talk! The Elder One demands answers.
He'll get used to disappointment.
Ah!
You will break. I will die first. Or you will. You're alive.
Something like that.
You're safe now.
Forget safe. If you came back from the dead, you need to do better than safe. You need to end this. Do you have weapons? Good. The Magister's probably in his chambers.
You aren't curious how we got here?
No.
Alexius sent us into the future. This, his victory, his Elder One, it was never meant to be.
I need to find Alexius and reverse the spell.
If we can get back to our present time, we can prevent this future from ever happening.
And mages always wonder why people fear them. No one should have this power.
It's dangerous and unpredictable. Before the breach, nothing we did.
Enough. This is all pretend to you. Some future you hope will never exist. I suffered. The whole world suffered. It was real.
What happened while we were away?
Stop talking.
I'm just asking for information.
No, you're talking to fill silence. Nothing happened that you want to hear.
Actually, I very much do want to hear what the heck happened whilst we were away. So that I can do my best to ensure that it never happens. And I am
We need to find Alexius. I'm sure he'll be in the nicer part of the castle, if there is one.
Templar, an Inquisition agent, and a couple of other random people were sacrificed here that we know of. People wonder what's so wrong about black magic. This right here.
The Magister needs more power for his ritual.
No! Let me...
Alexius can't have wanted this.
What are you talking about? He absolutely The problem is it's not as pretty as you thought it would be.
breach. It's
everywhere.
Used to be, it was only dwarves who were afraid of the sky. Now, it's just good sense.
Why are there entire buildings floating?
I am not a child. I can resist you. No!
Why did he do that? We could have helped him.
We will help him by making sure this never happens. He resisted that demon to the last.
I didn't even know about that one. Spellbinder's Journal. Yes. every failed time spell, the Magister grows a bit more paranoid. Or perhaps it's not paranoia, since the Elder One really will kill him for his failures. The distinction hardly matters. After the 10th failure, he began locking himself in the Great Hall during his waking hours. After the 20th, he had the foot soldiers excavate a shard doorway from parts unknown and painstakingly install it in the castle. Now his most trusted assistants can only see him if we all go at once, together. Which means we must do it, which we must do twice a day to bring him his meals, as he never leaves that room at all. I didn't even know about that one. Alexius's journal. Nothing works. I have tried countless times to go back before the Conclave explosion. Before Felix's caravan was attacked by Darkspawn, before the Venatori first arrived in Minrathous, without success. The breach is the wellspring that makes this magic possible, and travel outside of its timeline is impossible. The Elder Ones demand that I change the events of the Conclave can never be fulfilled. He may kill me for failing him, but I must protect Felix from his wrath. Electric resistance. Igneous staff. I seriously not put that in? Whoops. Oh well.
What became of Felix? Do you know?
Yes, I know.
And you're not going to tell me?
You'll find out soon enough.
What in Andraste's name is that? Hold on to it. I want to look at it later.
Stamina.
Maker's breath. Where did Alexius find this? How did he even move it here?
Can we open it?
Perhaps. But it looks quite strong. How desperate and paranoid must he be? His servants must have a way through. He has to eat. Let's look around.
Try to take out that enchanter quickly.
Block them from coming up the stairs! Go for some light reading.
Problems.
What happened here?
Somebody had very questionable taste.
They haven't seen us. We could take them by surprise.
Get that enchanter!
May Andraste have mercy on your souls. No one else will.
What's up?
One down!
Really? A blood sacrifice in the middle of the barracks? You gotta be kidding. Witch's Ice Staff. Studies on the Blights. Introduction of Blight to prisoners yields no discernible pattern. The disease progresses erratically. Some subjects die within hours despite all efforts. Others show no symptoms at all. Subjects may harbor some natural resistance, which makes isolation and testing a priority. 6. Later entry follows. 6 more subjects died. Transfusions of blood from resistant prisoners show the rate of corruption only slightly. Slow the rate of corruption only slightly. Healthy flesh taken from live subjects and implanted in the infected will often die even before corruption spreads to it. In cases where implantation is successful, blight corruption spreads across donor flesh faster than host flesh. Prisoner Liliana has been the most useful source of resistant blood and skin to date. Ouch. Well, crap, really? Oh. One last thing of red Valerian. Masterwork Blade Blade.
Damage did Alexis' spell do?
Rifts tore apart all of southern Thedas, starting here. But whether that's his doing or the breach, who can say?
Too busy praying to God to watch the entrance. You just can't find good cultists these days. Venatori severance package stinks.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it?
Let's head back to the main hall. I think I know how we'll open that door.
You don't have death blow. What you do have is caltrops. Increases the maximum stamina by a specific amount.
Look at what you've done, Alexius. All this suffering, and for what?
For my country, for my son. But it means nothing now. I knew you would appear again. Not that it would be now, but I knew I hadn't destroyed you. My final failure.
Was it worth it? Everything you did to the world, to yourself.
It doesn't matter now. All we can do is wait for the end.
It does matter. I will undo this.
How many times have I tried? The past cannot be undone. All that I fought for, all that I betrayed, and what have I wrought? Ruin and death, there is nothing else. The Elder One comes for me, for you, for us all. Felix.
That's Felix. Maker's breath, Alexius, what have you done?
He would have died, Dorian. I saved him. Please, don't hurt my son. I'll do anything you ask.
Hand over the amulet and we let him go.
Let him go and I swear you get what you want.
I want the world back.
No!
Tell me again how you're gonna... Where are your assassins this time? So much for the mighty Inquisition! This will be my apology! Your efforts are futile! This world's already lost! He wanted to die, didn't he? All those lies he told himself, the justifications. He lost Felix long ago. Didn't even notice. Oh, Alexius.
This Alexius was too far gone. But the Alexius in our time might still be reasoned with.
I suppose that's true. This is the same amulet he used before. I think it's the same one we made in Minrathous. That's a relief. Give me an hour to work out the spell he used, and I should be able to reopen the rift.
An hour? That's impossible! You must go now! The Elder One.
You'll have to hurry. This is bad. We'll hold the main door. Once they break through, it's all you, Nightingale.
We'll make this count.
The only way we live is if this day never comes. Cast your spell. You have as much time as I have hours. darkness closes, I am shielded by flame. Andraste, guide me. Maker, take me to your side.
You move, and we all die! You'll have to do better than that.
You failed, Alexius. How forgiving is your Elder One?
You won. There is no point extending this charade. Felix.
It's going to be all right, Father.
You'll die.
Everyone dies.
Well, I'm glad that's over with. Or not.
Grand Enchanter, we'd like to discuss your abuse of our hospitality.
Your Majesties.
When we offered the Mage's Sanctuary, we did not give them the right to drive our people from their homes.
King Alistair, Queen Honora, I assure you, we never intended...
In light of your actions, good intentions are no longer enough.
You and your followers have worn out your welcome. Leave Ferelden, or we'll be forced to make you leave.
But we have hundreds who need protection. Where will we go?
I should point out that we did come here for mages to close the breach.
And what are the terms of this arrangement?
Hopefully better than what Alexius gave you. The Inquisition is better than that, yes?
I suggest conscripting them. They've proven what they'll do given too much freedom.
I've known a lot of mages. They can be loyal friends if you let them. Friends who make bad decisions, but still loyal.
It seems we have little choice but to accept whatever you offer.
Mages are a problem. A problem that has to... A problem that has no good solution. On the one hand, you have a group of people who are born with abilities, who basically manifest abilities within their, early teens to... Heck, sometimes there are children who basically get born with these abilities. And they have no control over that. It's not like they tried to become mages and, succeeded one day, and then the world screwed them over. It was, nah, you were screwed because you happened to be born with the curse of magic. And that's the sad part. It's... You are cursed for being born the way you are. Which is sad when you really think about it. Now, I personally am of the opinion that just because you are born with a skill that is dangerous does not mean that you should be locked up in prison, quite frankly. Let's call it what it is. A very nice prison, admittedly, but still a prison. Just because you happen to have a skill that happens to come with some very serious drawbacks. I am of the opinion that such things is not what you should be doing. So, now on the one hand, you have basically so let's go ahead and describe in brief terms exactly what happened in this particular situation. The mages rebelled. They voted to basically go, no, the circle system is not okay. The system that we currently have is not working, and thus needs to be either challenged or just dissolved entirely. Because it's clearly not working. Which is true. They spend about a year-ish fighting for their chance to have the ability to choose what happens to them. And the second it gets hard, like actually hard, they end up, quite frankly, selling themselves into a system that is even worse. Slavery to Tevinter in this particular case. So the real question then becomes, do these people actually want to be free? Do these people, I'm not going to say deserve freedom, because that's not what the question is. Do these people actually want to have the ability to choose what happens to them, regardless, and all of that fun stuff? I don't know. Whoops. I don't know if they actually want that. But I say we give them the chance to prove themselves, to prove that they can actually do this, that they can actually be free, that they can actually accomplish in spite of everything. And if they happen to fall short of the expectation that comes with that, then they can accept the consequences of that decision.
We would be honored to have you fight as allies at the Inquisition's side.
We'll discuss this later.
I'll pray that the rest of the Inquisition honors your promise then.
The breach threatens all of Thetis. We cannot afford to be divided now. We can't fight it without you. Any chance of success requires your full support.
It's a generous offer. I doubt you're going to get a better one from us.
We accept. It would be madness not to. I will gather my people and ready them for the journey to Haven. The breach will be closed. You will not regret giving us this chance.
You better hope I don't.
It's not a matter for debate. There will be abominations among the mages, and we must be prepared.
If we rescind the offer of an alliance, it makes the Inquisition appear incompetent at best, tyrannical at worst.
What were you thinking, turning mages loose with no oversight? The veil is torn open.
One. Yes, the veil is torn open, and they have the capability to help us seal it. Which is the entire point of me going, which was the entire point of me going over there. 2. They voted for this. And if they are prepared, and they have both shed blood and bled for the opportunity to do so, for this. So yeah. And 3, we need them. As a matter of fact, I would argue we need them a hell of a lot more than they need us.
We need them to close the breach. It's not going to work if we make enemies of them.
I know we need them for the breach, but they could do as much damage as the demons themselves. You were there, Seeker. Why didn't you intervene?
While I may not completely agree with the decision, I support it. The sole point of the Herald's mission was to gain the mage's aid, and that was accomplished.
The voice of pragmatism speaks. And here I was, just starting to enjoy the circular arguments.
Closing the breach is all that matters.
Closing the breach will require a lot of magic, and that means lyrium. I have contacts who can help.
Contacts meaning smugglers? Send them word. We need every advantage.
We have legitimate lyrium supply lines already.
And they don't need to hear of this.
Keep it under the table, and I'll do what I can to quiet rumors.
We should look into the things you saw in this dark future. The assassination of Empress Celine. A demon army.
Sounds like something a Tevinter cult might do. Orlais falls, the Imperium rises. Chaos for everyone.
One battle at a time. It's going to take time to organize our troops and the mage recruits. Let's take this to the war room. Join us. None of this means anything without your mark, after all.
Considering the fact that I am also the only one who seems to be making any decisions, yeah, I'd consider that, you know, let's be real here. This isn't my presence. Yeah, my presence is not requested. My presence is required.
Thank you. I'd be honored to help with the plan.
Meet us there when you're ready.
I'll skip the War Council, but I would like to see this breach up close, if you don't mind.
Then you're staying?
Oh, didn't I mention? The South is so charming and rustic. I adore it to little pieces.
I must admit, I'm surprised.
We both saw what could happen. What this Elder One and his cult are trying to do. Not everything from Tevinter is terrible. Some of us have fought for eons against this sort of madness. It's my duty to stand with you. That future will not come to pass.
I cannot argue with that logic, as a matter of fact.
There's no one I'd rather be stranded in time with, future or present.
Excellent choice. But let's not get stranded again anytime soon, yes?
I'll begin preparations to march on the summit. Make her willing, the mages will be enough to grant us victory.
Excellent.
Go in peace, Herald of Andraste.
I intend to. Thank you.
And what are we supposed to do, exactly?
What you always do. Complain.
We've already spoken with Commander Cullen. No one listens. We want better quarters. We want the Templars kept at a distance. And some respect for...
This is not the Circle. You mages are our allies, not our wards. Act like it.
How are we supposed to...
Deal with it. It never ends, evidently.
Is there an issue with the mages? Can I help?
The mages are here as equals. They need to get used to what that means. It is your doing, after all. You created this alliance.
Well, I hope it works. What other choice do we have?
Oh. I do sound like I'm blaming you, don't I? I don't disapprove. In fact, you did well. You made a decision when it needed to be made. And here we are. I wish I could say this was my doing.
We wouldn't be here at all if you hadn't stood up against the Chantry.
You're being kind.
You're discounting your role in this.
Let's close the breach. Then we can say how successful I was.
Indeed.
Greetings.
Can you tell me more about the Seekers?
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original Inquisition long ago, when it united with the Chantry. Seekers stood above the Templars, watching over them but also investigating magical events they couldn't handle. We were meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality match the ideal?
Why did your order turn against the Chantry?
We originally united with the Chantry through a treaty that stated they would keep mages under control. It was felt Most Holy had tacitly allowed the Circle of Magi to vote on its independence, thus breaking the treaty. The Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
You sound like you disagree.
We knew what was happening at Kirkwall, where the Mage Rebellion began. We looked into reports of Knight Commander Meredith's harsh treatment of her charges years earlier. But we found so many shocking cases of magical corruption, it was decided her actions were justified. If we'd been there when it happened, if we'd looked harder at the root causes...
Then quite frankly, another equally or even worse situation probably would have happened. Quite frankly, I'm surprised that the Kirkwall situation wasn't more widespread. The root cause of the entire situation, of the entire Mage Templar Templar War. 1 second, I'm looking at. Oh. Okay. 1 second, I need to answer this. The entire root cause of the Mage Templar War is not the fact that it started in Kirkwall. That's not what that is. That's not. Don't get me wrong. That was part of it. Kirkwall was definitely a leading factor in the Mage Templar War, but ultimately speaking, the Mage Templar War was caused by the fact that there are so many people across all of Thedas who are terrified of magic. That's it. That's all it was.
What happened couldn't be avoided. It started long ago.
We weren't helpless. We had the power to act and chose not to. When faced with a problem, the Seekers would close ranks and crush it. We would find an answer, but only once we felt we weren't being coerced. The moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was difficult to watch.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Anywho. Yeah. Quite frankly, the Seekers are just as responsible for the Mage Templar War as, quite frankly, the mages are. So, yeah, that's that situation.
What are Seekers, exactly?
Those who know anything of us think we are Templars. We do not use Lyrium, however. Our abilities are different, as was our original purpose. We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the Divine. And not even her, truthfully.
So nobody ever watched over the Seekers?
It was the Divine's duty. But she could only do so much when the truth was hidden from her. The Templars have always feared us. When a Seeker arrived at a circle, they knew trouble was afoot. That kind of power is troubling. You begin to think you are the only one who can solve the world's problems. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the blind ones.
Do you think that kind of problem could ever be fixed?
Possibly. Though the Seekers themselves would need to change. They were clearly not willing to, even though they abandoned everything they stood for to avoid it. In my heart, I believe they can still be salvaged, but not by their own hands.
Yeah, that's kind of how that works, unfortunately.
You mentioned that Seekers have different abilities than Templars.
Entirely. A Templar's abilities come from Lyrium and are designed to hunt mages. Ours come from ritual and many years of dedicated training. We cannot be possessed by demons and are immune to mind control. Useful considering our role. Seekers can gain other gifts, so that depends on the individual.
What kind of gifts do you have?
I can set delirium within a person's blood aflame. Both mages and Templars bend before my will. Some Seekers use it to interrogate, others simply to paralyze. Once there was a Seeker who could use it to kill. That particular gift is considered rare.
That's downright brutal.
How does someone become a Seeker?
Most Seekers begin training in their youth. I was much older, an exception due to my noble birth. We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to undergo the vigil, and most fail even then.
Is the vigil some kind of initiation?
It is the rite every Seeker must go through in order to summon their gifts. A full year of fasting, prayer, and separation from all distractions, including other people. We empty ourselves of all emotion, focusing only on the purity of our devotion. And the moment it finally ends, it's wonderful. Faith realized. I cannot put it into words.
I wish I could experience that.
If the vigil was not so arduous, I'd say more should attempt it. What if mages never needed to fear possession by demons? I'm told it is impossible, however. I suppose I'll never know the truth of it now.
I've no more questions.
So, that Tevinter guy sent you into the future?
Every time I think I understand magic, the rules change.
I know, right? If I were a mage, I'd just throw fire at people. That's honest. Anyway, I hope our new friends have what it takes to close the breach. Damn thing gives me a headache just looking at it.
Travel safely.
This are our thanks for the refreshments.
Yeah, you didn't see that. You didn't see the breach literally engulfing the entire sky. Imagine how much of a headache it gives me. Well, let's go ahead and sell all of that stuff.
Smithing is...
The Mage Rebellion joins the Inquisition. I've got to admit that's a twist I didn't see coming. One thing you saw in the future worries me. I mean, it was all bad. But red lyrium in Ferelden, infecting people and growing out of them, that's bad. Finding more of it really punches a hole in my red lyrium at the temple was a coincidence theory.
I mean, considering the fact that we also know that there is red lyrium in that we know for a fact that there is red lyrium in the crossroads, that kind of also punches yet another hole in that particular theory.
How long does it take for red lyrium to grow? How fast can it spread?
It took years to infect people in Kirkwall, but no one there was actually ingesting the stuff. This Elder One managed to take the worst thing I can think of and make it worse. That's an accomplishment.
We can't leave a single piece of that lyrium out in the wild.
I'm with you on that. I've got people trying to find out where the red stuff came from. I think maybe we should make that a priority. But that's enough doom and gloom. You just won a big victory for the Inquisition. What are you going to do to celebrate?
After what just happened, I hardly feel like we won anything.
We're just getting started. You can't win a war in a day. Things should be calm around here for at least the next hour. Take a moment to enjoy it. If the world's about to end, I'm sure the Seeker will let us know.
Yeah, she does seem really good at that, doesn't she?
Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
A learned child is a blessing.
I hear the
upon
refugees
his
are doing much
parents
better
and
now.
onto the
The Inquisition has saved many lives.
I understand Mother Gisella's giving them something to hope for. That matters in times like these.
I pray you find something to hope for, too.
Maker, though the darkness comes upon me, I shall embrace the light. I shall weather the storm.
So we have gained the mages. Excellent. They should be able to seal the breach. You are certain you experienced time travel. Could it have been an illusion? A trick of the Fade?
Dorian was sure. Impossible as it seems.
What an amazing gift. It is vital the Inquisition succeed to avoid the future you witnessed.
I'm surprised you're not more interested in your own future.
I know enough. If that future happened, then I, and Cassandra, Cullen and the rest, failed to stop this Elder One. Speaking of which, you should ready yourself. For? This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and now again at Redcliffe. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront.
No.
Hello.
I'd be interested in hearing your opinions on elven culture.
I thought you would be more interested in sharing your opinions of elven culture. You are Dalish, are you not?
Yes, I am. The Dalish are the best hope for preserving the culture of our people.
Our people. You use that phrase so casually. It should mean more. But the Dalish have forgotten that, among other things.
Oh, but you know the truth, right?
While they pass on stories, mangling details, I walk the Fade. I have seen things they have not.
Fine, you think we're terrible. What about the alienages full of elves who aren't Dalish?
Why? What would it benefit some poor man in a Ferelden alienage to learn that his ancestors strode the land like gods? It would only make him bitter, or inspire him to take a foolish risk and get himself killed.
You've decided his reaction for him.
Perhaps I have. If you have questions and believe the answers will help, ask.
Is elven magic different from the magic used by humans?
No and yes. Magic is magic, just as water is water, but it can be used in different ways. Dalish magic is more practical, not needing chantry approval, although they still frown blood magic. Superstition, much of it is more subtle. A legacy from when elves were immortal.
The legends of elven immortality. Did they use magic to increase their lifespan?
No. It was simply part of being elven. The subtle beauty of their magic was the effect, not the cause of their nature. Some spells took years to cast. Echoes would linger for centuries, harmonizing with new magic in an unending symphony. It must have been beautiful.
You said that the censure against blood magic was a superstition.
I did. It's fortunate Cassandra is not within earshot. Most modern cultures forbid blood magic. Publicly, even Devinda disapproves of it. But as I said, magic is magic. It matters only in how it is used.
I would agree with Solus. Genuinely speaking, I would. I do believe that magic is magic. It's... the magic is a tool, not... Yeah, magic is a tool. I guarantee you if magic were properly... if, you know, anyone within anyone within the Chantry actually put their mind to it and actually allowed mages to properly study and hone magic, then Thedas would be in a pseudo golden age, where you would probably be somewhere within the industrial age. But unfortunately, because everyone is so afraid of magic, and blood magic specifically, especially given how blood magic is constantly used to basically cause horrendous things. But yeah, blood magic in and of itself, there's a certain twist, there's a certain understandable reason why people tend to go for that kind of a thing. Because, you know, blood happens to... Yeah, blood happens to augment things. It's... Yeah. But again, it's... But then again, you also have to deal with the fact that blood magic not only has a reputation, but quite frankly, kind of doesn't really work when you really, really think about it.
To be honest, I don't see it as different from any other magic. It's a means to an end.
Indeed. The problem is that under the Chantry, blood magic is forbidden, so only criminals practice it. While in Tevinter, magisters compete with each other instead of keeping their volatile friends in check. They always succeed through power, so they have never had the chance to learn another way.
I'd like to know more about the elves from before our time.
The Dalish strive to remember Hallam Sharal, but Hallam Sharal was merely a fumbling attempt to recreate a forgotten land.
Arlathan.
Elvanan was the Empire, and Arlathan its greatest city. Place of magic and beauty, lost to time.
You've studied ancient elves. What else do you know of Arlathan?
We hear stories of them living in trees, and imagine wooden ramps or Dalish aeravels. Imagine instead spires of crystal twining through the branches, palaces floating among the clouds. Imagine beings who lived forever, for whom magic was as natural as breathing. That is what was lost.
Are all Dalish elves like my clan?
No. Your clan was unique in having enough interest in human affairs to send you to spy upon the Divine's meeting. As your clans have been separate for so long, they have all changed, adapting to the lands in which they live. Some are no more than bandits, others trade freely with humans, and some have disappeared entirely to the forests.
And then there are some who do really, really horrible things, who are worse than bandits.
What can you tell me about elves living in human cities?
The culture in alienages or among the slaves of Tevinter is like any of the impoverished and powerless. They cling to memories of a better past, and practice a few rituals to distinguish themselves from humans.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
The Chantry isn't supporting us.
I told you that it was complicated.
Magic exists to serve man and never to rule over him. Foul and corrupt.
Good day to you.
I've been meaning to thank you. There are 100 things that need your attention. You didn't have to take the time to help me, and yet you did.
If the history you pursue benefits the Wardens, then it was worth it.
I've never been more certain about my decision to join you.
There will be opportunities for us to do even more in the future.
Then I look forward to it.
you think of the Inquisition?
I expected more. More men, better equipment. You may have Andraste's favor, but wars are won by men, soldiers.
I don't need you to tell me what I already know.
You asked for my opinion. That was my opinion.
What do you think about all this trouble between the mages and Templars?
Looking at it from where we stand, it seems inevitable. But that could be hindsight. How many of us actually saw it coming? Either way, I don't think the Chantry will ever recover.
Ain't that true? And how many? Yeah, I can basically say that because of Dragon Age Inquisition, I could basically say, because Dragon Age Inquisition exists, I could say that the Mage Templar War was gonna happen regardless. But again, that's hindsight. That's not actually say. That's not something that I probably should actually be able to say.
What do you think of Haven?
It's a war camp that was once a pilgrim's refuge. It's the state of the world, though, isn't it? Holy ground turned into a battlefield. Pity about that temple. Would have been nice to see it.
What do you think of the Inquisition's cause?
Restoring order is a goal I support wholeheartedly. But that's not the end of it, is it? Not by a half. The Lady Seeker believes we are restoring the Chantry. Others say it needs reform. I don't know where you stand on the matter, and I'll admit I haven't made up my mind either.
What do you think of my advisors?
Liliana seems nice. Also a little frightening, but mostly nice.
You're not saying that for my benefit, are you? Are you so certain you're being watched?
Are you so certain we aren't? I don't want to wake up with a blade in my kidneys if I can help it.
What do you think of my advisors?
Josephine's lovely, and craftier than you'd expect. The Inquisition could not have picked a better ambassador.
What do you think of my advisors?
Josephine's lovely, and craftier than you'd expect. The Inquisition could not have picked a better ambassador.
You must have some feelings about our friends.
Madame Vivian only allied with the Inquisition because she knows it will bring her power. The most poisonous snakes are often the most beautiful.
Ain't that the truth?
We should return to our duties.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge.
Kind of.
Good day to you.
Alright. Is there really anyone else I want to talk? Actually, yes, there is someone. I need to talk to my 3 war counselors.
The mages are ready to approach the breach. I pray this will be enough to close it.
Would you be more confident if I brought back Templars instead?
I'd be less worried about the thin veil resulting in mass possession. I will not endanger the alliance you've created. We need their help. Any precautions taken will be to ensure the safety of our people and the mages themselves. Nothing more.
Is there anything I should know?
I'm glad to have the charges on our side. Fool's men are professionals, despite evidence to the contrary.
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present.
That's all for now.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death, for the Maker shall be her beacon and her shield.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's mages all over. So many robes, I bet all of Ferelden lost their curses. I'll just be the other side of Haven, just in case.
These mages are here to aid the Inquisition. Don't worry.
Sure, don't worry. Magic up there, magic down here. What's to worry about? I mean, yay, freedom. Great for them. Over there, away from me.
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
Mages. Lovely.
They should have this breach sealed soon enough.
I suppose their gold spends as well as anyone else's.
Your open support for the mages likely earned you enemies. Our agents will monitor the situation. If the most opposed can be identified, we may still turn this to our advantage.
You're always looking for some way to benefit, aren't you?
It's what I'm here for. Regardless, I applaud you for the courage to stand up for the mages.
In Redcliffe, you sacrificed yourself so that I could return here.
Of course I did. One small life in exchange for a second chance at history. I always loved a bargain.
You were condemned to a lightless dungeon. Not much of a life to sacrifice.
And I would do it again.
Anything I should know?
Altegan has returned to Redcliffe Castle and resumed his duties as Lord. The people are returning, slowly but surely. Unfortunately, our show of support for the mages has angered many.
I'm not surprised.
I'll leave you to your work.
Stay safe out there.
Magic exists to serve man and never to rule over it.
The Inquisition appreciates your assistance in this matter, Lady Corbin.
And my miners appreciate your business. You'll have your lyrium by the end of the week. I should tell you, Ambassador, the Chantry raised some fuss when they learned about our arrangement.
The Inquisition must certainly seem an audacious idea to the Grand Clerics. We hope to convince them it is a necessary one as well.
Oh, trust me, the Chantry does not have a say in this regardless.
I'll take my leave. Good day.
Who was she, Ambassador?
A merchant. I thought we should reach out to the dwarves to secure lyrium for the Inquisition's mages. According to Lady Corbin, it raised the ire of the Chantry.
How?
Access to lyrium makes us rather more formidable than anticipated. We are becoming a challenge. Sadly, the remaining Grand Clerics appear to be consolidating the Chantry's power instead of comforting the masses.
Mage circles started falling years ago. The Chantry was troubled even before the Divine's murder.
Yet many people continue to bear it great love. We will not benefit from its decline. Little but the Chantry ties Orlais, Nevarra, Ferelden, Antiva, and even Rivain to a common cause.
Has the Chantry truly promoted such peace?
Andraste's chant is familiar across kingdoms, a source of many shared customs. That is the crucial point. Common ground is the start of all negotiations.
I suppose a shared faith can be useful when talking with strangers.
Precisely. And these similar interests are merely where we begin. We must learn to think beyond our own wants to secure peace in Thedas.
Planning to steer the history of the world, Ambassador Montilier?
I believe the Inquisition is already charting that course. Which brings me to a question, if you have a moment. The remaining Grand Clerics sent a missive inquiring about the events at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. They demand to know whether the Inquisition officially claims that Andraste saved you from the breach. If it were up to you, how would you reply?
Will my answer change your reply to the Chantry?
If Leliana, Cassandra Cullen, and I could agree on our official stance, I could answer that. We should decide soon. The revered mothers don't seem to know what to make of you.
Quite frankly, I don't claim to be holy. But quite frankly, as it stands right now, we don't know.
I don't know if a miracle from Andraste saved me any more than they do.
Yet as rumors your Andraste's herald grow, the Grand Clerics may not believe such a humble reply. A difficult situation, and I thank you for your answer. A good day to you.
And once again, we are proving exactly why we are needed.
If you find anything, please bring...
Greetings.
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Any thoughts on the people here?
Who did you mean?
You must have an opinion of Dorian.
Who hasn't? The man could cause a scene standing quietly in the center of an empty room. Still, I do believe he has your best interest at heart, for all that he delights in mocking them from time to time.
Yeah.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
Alright. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to Dorian. And then we'll open up the...
The Inquisition supports free mages. What's next? Elves running Hallam Sharal? Cows milking farmers?
Give me time. I'm sure I'll surprise you.
I suspect that's untrue. Unless you strip yourself naked and allow the Chantry to flog you into repentance. Now, that would surprise me. I do wonder if you've considered what this support of yours will do. For mages in general, I mean. The Inquisition is seen as an authority. You've given Southern mages license to, well, be like mages back home.
What would be wrong with that exactly?
Nothing, at first. Thing is, the Imperium was once just like the South. Templars, proper circles, all that rot. Then it changed, by inches. Not that this is reason to oppress us. Still, my homeland should be a cautionary tale, not a source of inspiration.
I agree.
It occurs to me that I barely know anything about you.
Beyond my being a mage from Tevinter, you mean?
Beyond that, yes.
And beyond my being so charming and well-dressed, which is obvious to anyone.
Some more than others.
Some people have superior taste. Now, what was I talking about? Ah, yes, me. I am the scion of House Parvis, a product of generations of careful breeding and the repository of its hopes and dreams. Naturally, I despised it all. The lies, the scheming, the illusions of supremacy. That's Tevinter in a nutshell, isn't it? Needless to say, my family was not happy with my choices.
What did you mean by generations of careful breeding?
The great families of Tevinter don't have children. They refine traits, weed out the undesirable, and promote the rest. My mother was chosen for my father because magic runs strongly in her blood. Never mind that they loathed each other. They wanted a son who could become Archon to make House Parvis the envy of the Imperium. They got me. A cautionary tale that you should be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Why would your family be upset with your choices?
Because I rejected their idyllic plan. If they had their way, by now I'd be married to some unlucky girl from a powerful family. We'd live in luxurious despair, despising each other as I waited to take my father's place in the magisterium. I declined the honor, and thus it's best I'm far from home. Less of an embarrassment that way, you see.
I'm getting the impression you don't care much for your homeland.
On the contrary, I care for my homeland a great deal. There's so much potential. Sadly, we squander it. We refuse to acknowledge how far we've fallen because pretending is easier. We pretend the Qunari can be beaten. We pretend that we're superior to everyone, even our own people. Not everyone feels that way. I don't. Sadly, we're the minority.
It just seems so much of what you say about the Imperium is entirely negative.
It might sound that way. For all our faults, my people have many virtues. We are laden with history and culture. Tevinter is where Thedas truly began, remember? We treasure our past and preserve it. You can walk down a side street and find nothing built during the modern ages. And despite appearances, we care deeply about everything. We have no reserve, not in war and not in love. If I truly believed my homeland was beyond all hope, I wouldn't miss it so much.
Why remain with the Inquisition? Why not go back to Tevinter?
I'm not exactly welcome back home. Not that it matters, I'm quite accustomed to being a pariah. It adds to my charm. I can do more for Tevinter here. If the Venatori succeed, it'll set my homeland back 1,000 years. I'm sure some magisters would disagree, but that's why we kill them.
I think I've heard enough.
That's too bad. I never tire of talking about myself.
Have you gone to see Alexius yet? He's in the cells.
Not yet, no. I saw him before they locked him up. He looked despondent, broken. Not the man I remember, nor the one I want to. I suppose the Inquisition will judge him eventually. I wonder if there's any chance they'll show him mercy. He hardly deserves it, but for Felix's sake. I can't help hoping there's something left of the man I once knew.
Indeed. All right.
Though you had granted them power over the very Fade itself.
I'll tell the
Though they
apothecary what he
stand
needs right away.
Like Celestine, University of
My scouts still comb the hills for clues about the explosion. I'll take what I can find.
Ally from Starkhaven. Sister Liliana, the shards acquired by the Herald of Andraste are unlike anything I've encountered. Though ancient in origin, few have been recovered before now. The breach must have disrupted whatever ancient magic was concealing them from view. I have heard of one scroll that mentions the shards. It belonged to the Circle Tower in Markham. However, after the circles fell, the Sorel family seized many of the valuables as compensation for donations that made I swear I can read. For donations made after their mage son was taken there. They intend to sell the scroll along with everything else at private auction. Enchanter renowned. Hastily scrolled below. Josephine, if this ancient magic is tied to the breach or can offer some advantage against it, we need to know. Can you get us into that? Oh, Liliana. That's pretty easy, actually. Alright, and with that, I am actually going to go ahead and call it there. I'm going to use that area to grind some more and work on the war table. So tomorrow, I'm going to work. So tomorrow, if I have done everything on the war table, or completed, if I have managed to do everything that I need to do prior to doing that, we will be doing the mage side of In Your Heart Shall Burn, and a whole host of other things after that. Then next week is going to be a very weird week, because next week is actually my birthday week. I don't know what my birthday week is going to be looking like between I don't know what my birthday week is going to look like next yet. So yeah, be prepared for some weird me showing up at weird times next week. So yeah, with that all said and done, I hope you all had a wonderful evening, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.